Thank you. All right, here we are. I'm Natalie Cutsforth, intuitive healer, and I've got Marcia Wade with me, Star Sister Astrologer, and we're here today because it's a full moon in Aquarius, and this energy is setting the tone for what we can expect throughout the end of the year. And Marcia's going to tell us in depth about that in a little bit. The other thing I wanted to let you know at the beginning is that we have a little bonus for you if you're interested in our The Power of Collective Transformation workshop at the end of this session. If you're here live today or you sign up for that workshop before midnight tonight Pacific time, I'm going to throw in a special little bonus that I've created called Fresh Energy Fast. That's a process for 10-day practice to recognize where you have energy leaks and reclaim your energy from them. So stick with us and I will tell you a little bit more about that at the end. And welcome everyone. You want to say hello, Marcia? Sorry, I said that right as you're grabbing a drink of water.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here on this big energetically big day, the full moon in Aquarius. Our timing is perfect.
Yeah, she had the vision. I can't hear you, Marcia. I'm not sure what happened.
You can't hear me?
Oh, now I can. Now I can. Wow. Well, welcome everyone. We've got a great group joining already, and I want to go ahead and I'll pause for a second to see if I can hear you, Marcia.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Awesome.
Okay, great.
I know there's a delay on Facebook, so we don't need to worry about that. But for the moment, I want to invite everyone who's here present and anyone who's watching this later to take a deep breath with me and presence yourself to setting your intentions on this full moon. You can open your eyes for a minute and just notice here you are in your body in this lifetime as we are on this amazing planet Earth. It's quite wondrous, quite miraculous that we're all here together at this blip of time in the universe where so much powerful activity is at play. My intention in sharing this little exercise with you tonight is that you can reuse it whenever you feel the need, because right now we're in some pretty unsettling times. And what happens during an unsettling time is that we tend to go out of our body because it's not comfortable in our body. Our body has feelings, it might have physical sensations, it might have emotional sensations, thoughts that keep rolling around in our head even when we're trying to fall asleep at night. And what happens when we have those kinds of responses in this earth ship body is that our soul, particularly if we're sensitive to energy, sometimes wants to go up and out. And then that space in our energy field gets filled with other stuff that is not ours, stuff we don't need or want. And so what we're going to do in this little exercise is align with our soul self and call our soul back into our body. And this is something that is really fast that you can use over and over again if you ever feel like cloudy or a little bit confused when you're trying to make a decision. And during this time, when you're navigating all the information out there in the news and the internet and in people's opinions, it's a really great time to make sure that you're in your body as a soul and that you're clearing everybody else's stuff out of the center of your head so that you can see your information and be clear what your path is. So just in that awareness, just take a moment with me right now to just dive into this meditative space. It's a beautiful time for us all to just join forces energetically. We've got a great group here. And close your eyes and take a deep breath, or if you're in a safe place to do so. And when you take your second deep breath, notice your energy coming down through the top of your head, that breath coming down through the top of your head from the stars, the cosmos, all the way down to the tip of your tailbone, and just filling your whole being up with that life force, that breath of the cosmos that's meeting up in the tip of your spine with your connection, your grounding, your connection to earth energy. And from that awareness in your mind's eye, noticing the tip of your tailbone, extend it down like a beam of light or a tree trunk, all the way down through the layers of the building, through the layers of dirt and rock, into the center of this beautiful planet where it can really anchor in. Noticing you're grounded, you're in this body, in this lifetime, and you're really anchoring into earth because it's here to support you as you flexibly navigate your experience as a soul, here and now. Combining that cosmic star power that you breathed in and noticing that you have this anchor, this connection, this rootedness that supports you whenever and wherever you need it. Now in your consciousness, bring your attention back to the center of your head. In this visualization, notice the center of your head, between your ears, behind your eyes, your psychic space, your third eye, your sixth chakra, where your analytical and intuitive mind live. And take this opportunity to clean it out, to clear it out of any energy that's not you, including me, including Marcia, including anyone that's in the physical space around you, or people thousands of miles away that happen to be popping into your head or influencing you through personal relationships or collective agreements. And you do that by noticing that any energy that's not yours gets to go into a bubble and push that bubble outside of your third eye, outside of your aura bubble. And then watch it float up and away. And you might have a series of bubbles that you're sending out of your center of head space back to different people and popping that bubble over the person's head to return their energy to them. Specific people in your life you're ready to give energy back to, like, here's your energy, get out of my head. Or you might do one that's more generalized for the media or the internet or the government. Just putting that energy in a bubble and sending it far away from you and popping it to release it and move it out of your space. You're grounded. You have a clear center of head space. Your own psychic space is yours. Now I want you to bring your attention, that inner eyes, focus as if you had your eyes open, but you don't, they're closed. Take that inner eyes gaze and focus at the point on the top of your head, like it, as if you could actually see the top of your head, which you can't actually see, but with your eyes closed. You're focusing your attention on your crown, the top of your head, as the opening, the gateway to invite your spirit deeply into your body. And just noticing that inner gaze is focused at that point at your crown. Then just send the focus a little farther up, maybe 6 or 12 inches above your head. And when it's up there, just above your head, above your crown, send the intention from that same third eye space. Set the intention. You're calling your soul to back into your body and to come deeper into your physical experience. And then just watch your gaze and follow it back to the top of your head. And follow your gaze back into the center of your head. And move your gaze down your spine, down your neck, into your shoulders, down behind your heart. And as you're moving this inner gaze, you're bringing more of your soul self, your essence, down into your physical experience to inform you, to align you, to prepare you to stand in the fullness of who you are as you face everything in your life, every celebration, every challenge. And watch that gaze follow down below your heart chakra into your solar plexus, to your second chakra where your creative energy is, and down to your root. And all the way down to the soles of your feet. So that you're inviting your soul self, your spirit, your essence to encompass your entire physical being, to run the ship, to be in charge, to stand in its power, to be clear. Take another deep breath. While your eyes are closed and before you open your eyes, just take a moment to give yourself the affirmation that you get to choose. You get to choose who you get to allow in your energy field, what information, what truths that you get to choose. This is your life, you get to choose. Another deep breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and stretch. Wonderful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here for you. And thank you for being here because as a collective, when we set our energy together like this, we are shifting the universe. We're shifting our collective human experience on Earth by setting our intentions and aligning with the truth of who we are as an essence, so that as a community, we're healing the planet. So let me pass it over to you, Marcia, and you can tell us all about what this full moon in Aquarius is here to teach us.
Well, I don't know if I can tell you all about it, but first I want to say, really, you've already told us all about it, because if there's anything the sign of Aquarius is about, it's a big picture. It's about the part of us, the most awakened and liberated part of us, and creating a world from that as close as we can get to that part of us. Um, and so every Aquarius new moon and full moon is about that, but about realizing who we really are and becoming more of who we really came here to be. But this Aquarius full moon, like everything that's happening in 2020, this one isn't like any we've ever experienced before. And that's because 2020 is a year where there's never been a year like this. It's been almost 1,000 years since 3 of the 5 slow moving reality shapers, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, have all been in the sign of Capricorn. But even then, they weren't within the orb of conjunction for 10 months like they are in 2020. Nobody's ever experienced that. And that's just one part, a very important part of what has happened this year. This year began with a reality transforming seed, a more powerful reality, so powerful that it's changing everything, was seeded in January. And this year is going to end with an equally powerful and rare conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. Saturn is our reality gatekeeper. He makes things real. Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, expands everything he touches. He's the energy of expansion and growth. They come together every 20 years. But what they're doing in December on the winter solstice is coming together for the first time in over 600 years, not in an earth sign as they have since 1802, with only 2 exceptions. They're coming together in the most visionary and big picture of elements, air, and they're coming together in the most radical and awakened air sign, Aquarius. Now, what that means, we can't know yet because we're not there. It depends on you, it depends on me, depends on all of us. And in this sense, energy, we don't live in an energy democracy because some people are more aligned with their energy than others. And so the more aligned we are, the more powerful our energy is in shaping the field. What's going to happen for the rest of this year? Because believe it or not, this beginning today with this full moon, we're going into the most dynamic part of 2020. The choices we make, the alignments that we hold, the intentions that we hold, that's what's going to depend, that's what's going to determine what that grand mutation, which is what it's called when Jupiter and Saturn come together in a different element. It's a reality mutation, and what it's going to mean depends on what we do right now. And that starts with our ability to claim our sovereign power as cosmic beings, because we're human beings, we're citizens of planet Earth, but we're also cosmic beings. The Earth is a cosmic being. We're all made out of star stuff, and we are not separate from the universe. Nothing's happening to us. We're it. We're part of the universe. So it's time to do exactly what you just led us in doing, Natalie, claiming our sovereign power as cosmic beings to align with our souls and live from that energy more fully than we ever have before. So I would say that in a nutshell is what's happening. Today, we're turning a corner. We're taking it to the next level. We're taking this global metamorphosis to the next level. And the more aligned we are with our souls, the more input we're going to have. Doesn't matter if our names aren't on the newspapers that or in the TV. That's not energetically what shapes the field.
Mm.
It's how aligned we are. And that's why Natalie and I are so committed to doing everything we can to empower ourselves and each other at this critical time.
So important, Marcia. So important. I remember even thinking as in high school as an adolescent that, wow, look at all these people out here that aren't really living. They're not fully living. They're alive but not living. And I feel like that's my mission throughout my life is to encourage people to wake up in the present moment and to be living while they're alive. And so even though it might sound very subtle to dive into the meditative space and work on that relationship with our own soul, it's the most powerful thing we can do while we're here on Earth. So
it totally is, especially when the energy around us is intense and powerful. And we've experienced more of that this year than anyone alive ever has. There's more energy in the sign of Capricorn than any of us have ever experienced. But just wait. In 6 weeks, the planet Mars, our drive, our will, our motivation is going retrograde in his own sign of Aries. It's the first time since 1988. And before then, the last time was 1941. So some of us have never experienced Mars retrograde, and most of us have only experienced it once. And that time in 1988 was nothing like what is going to be happening from September 9th until November 13th. Because as Mars goes retrograde, he is going to be breaking new ground, pulling hard at every one of those planets in Capricorn. We are all going to be feeling the intense urgency of breaking new ground. And it's going to be fiery. It's going to be frustrating. It's probably going to feel overwhelming at times. And what the universe is saying, and the universe is within each one of us, this is what we need. If we're really going to take this world to the next level, this is what it's going to take to get there. So, this, and it all depends on our ability to stay aligned, even when things are intense and confusing and overwhelming around us. If we can do that, this can be the most transformative year of our lives, one that we will look back on and tell stories about forever. Our grandchildren's children will be telling the stories they heard about what we did in these times, the changes that we made for ourselves and for our world.
Literally, I mean, I find that our the groundedness, being able to really feel settled and having a foundation, combined with the alignment with your own information, is the key to navigating all this, because otherwise we get thrown off center and somebody gets to grab our energy and use it. So, you know, the more we can be in our own center and choose how we're using our energy when we're grounded and we know what our truth is, the less likely we are to get thrown off and get hooked or corded by energy, or even have our own information suppressed by what's happening out there in the world to distort our perspective. So
totally,
so much power in this intentional time, and really being present for our soul path right now. I guess one of the things that I had in mind, Marcia, when we talked about this earlier, I was just sort of looking at my notes, is you said how the kind of space we hold right now will determine how the kind of space we hold during this full moon in Aquarius is going to determine how our experience is when we go through this December Grand Mutation. And like at the beginning of December, there's that eclipse, and then there's the, what is it, on the Winter Solstice, there is that when the Grand Mutation occurs. Yeah. So the way I think of it is sort of like, because I'm a person that likes to do sports, or I just got done river rafting. Like when you choose your line, when you're on a bike, you have to pick which line you're going to go so you don't crash, or you on skis, you got to pick your line on the hill, or you're in a river, you need to pick your line around the rocks in the river. And right now at this full moon, we're picking our line, we're choosing we're looking at the big picture and going, here's the route I'm going to take, because that's the route I can do it and have fun and have it be an empowering experience, rather than something where I crash and burn. So I don't know if that fits for other people, but for me, that's the way I sort of saw this example of how we have to hold space right now and align ourselves so that we can have an empowering, good experience, even if it's challenging, even if it's scary, even if we don't know what's around the next bend. When everything unfolds this fall and into the winter solstice.
And I would only add to that, which is such a beautiful and compelling analogy, because we can all see that power of the line, that I feel like the more we can realize that our guidance, our ultimate guidance, our unique connection to the cosmos, the unique medicine that each one of us can bring that nobody else can. The reason we're here, that's inside of us.
Mhm.
So our line is inside of us too. And the more aligned we get, the more we understand what our line really is.
Yes, yes, yes. That's what I mean. Yes. Wonderful. Well, so excited to continue to teach with you, Marcia, as we go through this really intense time. I know that every day there's a new bit of information or a new twist and turn, and we're all sort of trying to navigate it as we encounter it. And so as Marcia and I came together and we're like, we need to offer something because it's such a tumultuous time. And so we're teaching this power of collective transformation, because really one of the big pieces of what's happening here is that we can't do it alone anymore. The like, you know, me generation of getting stuff done alone, it doesn't work in this new paradigm. We need to come together and join in a web of community energetically in order to get it to the next level. And so that's why we brought this group together, so that with Marcia's wisdom around the astrology that's occurring, we can help feel like we have a foundation as we're navigating all of this. And I'm going to teach you and actually lead you in the class, in the workshop, through these practices where we get to go deeper, and then you can reuse them just like what I presented today, but sort of deeper practices that you can reuse. We're going to meet 2 times a month for August and September. And right now, I'll post a link on the comments so that you can see the place where there's more information about the workshop and sign up. And if you sign up today, before the close of today, I'm going to throw in something that I created, and I haven't announced yet. I wasn't planning on announcing it until formally until the new moon in August. So you're going to get an early sneak preview for the Fresh Energy Fast methodology that I created, that is a 10-day program for you to track through looking at who you have energy exchanges with, where your energy is going, and understand, and then looking at the energy leak cheat sheet that goes with the program to identify which of the 14 types of energy leaks you're experiencing in that interaction, so that then you can take the next step of reclaiming your energy from it and setting a boundary. And it also comes with what I call the beautiful boundaries guided audio. So it's a really short meditation, guided visualization that you would use every day to help set your boundaries in the first place. So it's a fun and easy program that I created, and I'd love to share it with you. If you sign up in our workshop today, before the close of the day, I'll email you tomorrow with the access to that as well. And even if you can't sign up for the workshop today, we hope you decide to join us. We'll be getting started on August 11th. Anything you want to add, Marcia?
I only want to add that as people who have been with us before and other experiences we've led know, even when you think, well, I already know all that, I know how to do it, there is a power in the field that we create together that and come together with shared intention that is transformative for everyone. It's an order of magnitude beyond anything that you can experience just on your own. It's a really powerful time to be coming together with the intention of becoming sovereign and a transformative force in your own life and in our world.
That is so perfect, Marcia. I'm glad that you said that, because what I find is often, even though I have the tools at certain times, I'll forget them when I need them the most. And so when we join together and we have a planned intentional time to get together and practice them, we're reinforcing it, we're expanding it, and then we're amplifying it really with the energy of the group that's come together for this process. So wonderful. Well, blessings to you all on this full moon. in Aquarius. And if you type some questions in the comments or anything, we'll look at those later and answer them. We just couldn't multitask while we were teaching. So thank you for being here, and many blessings to you all as we navigate these wild times.